My mom sent me a message that read, "We changed all the locks. You don't have a home anymore. Let's see how brave you are now." Ha! That was the exact moment I realized my family didn't just dislike me, they wanted me out of their lives in the cruelest way possible. I had grown up in that house, worked multiple jobs through college to help pay bills when my dad lost his job, and constantly put my own dreams aside to take care of the family when they needed me. I wasn't the black sheep, but they treated me like one. When I got that text, it felt like someone had pulled the ground out from beneath me. I stared at it for a long time, wondering if it was some kind of cruel joke, but the cold laughter in her words told me it wasn't. 2 days later, I got an urgent email from their lawyer. "We have a problem. Call immediately." That was when I understood the tables had turned. They thought they had pushed me out and left me helpless, but what they didn't know was that I had quietly prepared for this moment for years. Every sneer, every insult, every backhanded comment about how I would never amount to anything built up into a quiet determination to protect myself. They believed they could throw me out like trash and I would crawl back, begging for mercy. But they underestimated just how much I had learned to stand on my own. For context, my family had always been complicated. My mom thrived on control, constantly belittling me while putting my younger brother on a pedestal. He was the golden child, the one who could do no wrong even when he failed classes or got arrested for drunk driving. Meanwhile, I was the reliable one, the one who cooked, cleaned, paid bills, and kept the house from collapsing under its own chaos. My dad. He was passive, always letting my mom run the show. He would mutter about fairness sometimes, but never lifted a finger to actually support me. It wasn't a surprise when, as soon as I turned 22 and graduated, they decided to push me out. They wanted me gone because they could no longer milk me for money or labor. What they didn't expect was that while I was helping them, I was also investing. Every paycheck I had earned from my part-time jobs in high school and college, I saved a portion. I studied finance in college not just because it was practical, but because I wanted to understand money the way they never did. I had opened a quiet investment account they knew nothing about, slowly building a safety net while they mocked me for being cheap. By the time I graduated, I had enough for a down payment on a small apartment, though I hadn't told them. So when they thought they had destroyed me with that text about changing the locks, I was sitting comfortably in my own place, surrounded by furniture I had bought, with a steady job offer waiting for me. Their attempt to control me backfired instantly. The funny thing is, I didn't even plan revenge at first. I just wanted to live my own life in peace. But they couldn't let that happen. A week after locking me out, my mom called me screaming, demanding to know why I hadn't been paying the utility bills. Apparently, all the accounts, gas, electricity, internet, were still in my name. When I moved out, I never bothered to transfer them because I assumed they would handle it. Now, with me gone, they were stuck with overdue notices piling up. When I calmly told her she needed to put the bills in her own name, she exploded, calling me ungrateful and heartless. I hung up without another word. That was the first taste of power I had over them. The more I ignored their tantrums, the more desperate they became. Soon after, the email from their lawyer arrived. Curious, I called, and the lawyer sounded nervous. Apparently, my parents had tried to take out a home equity loan using my credit as a co-signer without my knowledge. They thought they could forge my name like they always had on smaller things, but this time the bank flagged it. Forgery is a crime, and the lawyer warned me that if I didn't intervene, my parents could be facing charges. That was the moment I realized just how low they were willing to sink. They had already taken my childhood and my home, and now they wanted to ruin my financial future too. Instead of panicking, I decided to let them burn themselves out. I didn't call the bank. I didn't rescue them. I let the system do what it was designed to do. If they wanted to treat me like an enemy, I would no longer protect them like family. Meanwhile, my own life was blossoming. I started working at a mid-sized firm where my skills were finally appreciated. I built friendships, something I had never been allowed to have growing up because my mom wanted me isolated and dependent. My confidence grew. For the first time in my life, I wasn't defined by their cruelty, I was defined by my own choices. But my family wasn't done trying to drag me down. Word reached me through relatives that my brother had failed out of school again and was living at home, jobless and angry. My mom blamed me for abandoning him, saying if I were a real sibling, I would take care of him. She even showed up at my apartment one night, banging on the door, demanding money. I didn't answer. The next morning, I found a nasty note taped to the door calling me selfish and evil. Instead of crumbling like I used to, I laughed. Every insult confirmed I had made the right decision. They were losing their grip on me, and they couldn't handle it, but karma has a funny way of circling back. The forged loan attempt spiraled into a full investigation. The bank froze their accounts, and debt collectors started calling non-stop. They were drowning financially, and because my name was no longer tied to theirs, I was completely untouched. I learned later from a cousin that my mom broke down crying when she realized I wasn't coming back to bail them out this time. For years, I had been their safety net, their scapegoat, their servant. Without me, they collapsed under the weight of their own bad choices. And here's the best part, I didn't have to lift a finger. My revenge wasn't loud or dramatic, it was quiet, simple, and devastating. All I had to do was live my life better without them, and watch as their world fell apart. I never gloated to their faces. I never sent cruel messages back. I just stopped existing in their narrative. Eventually, the angry texts turned into desperate pleas, begging me to return home, to help them fix the mess. But I remembered that first message my mom sent, "You don't have a home anymore." She was right. I didn't. And I didn't want one with them ever again. I built my own, one they couldn't touch, one where I was finally free. Revenge, in the end, wasn't about destroying them. It was about reclaiming myself. And nothing destroyed them more than realizing they no longer had any power over me.